Hey guys, in this video we will discuss on the branch. Okay, so what exactly is a branch, and we will discuss on an important thing like conflict, merge conflict. So for understanding this, first you need to understand what exactly is a branch. A branch is nothing but a series of commits. So we have seen a lot of commits. So every branch will have let's say commit 1 and commit 2. So commit 2 points to the parent, commit 3 points to the parent, commit 4 points to the parent, like that. So and there will be a name to this series of commits. So by default you have a master. A branch is nothing but a series of commits, simple as that. And so the master points to the default, there is a name given, master. So you can think like branches as a kind of a timeline. So you have a timeline in Facebook, right, or Meta or whatever. So initially you have some change you did in this month, then another change you did in this month, this month, this. So this timeline is basically the branch, and the head always points to the last commit of whichever the branch is. Now let's say I want one more branch. Okay, so might be I want to experiment on the main branch. Main is a production branch, so I want to experiment, play around with it, but I want to keep it private. I don't want my team lead know about it. Okay, because I'm experimenting on it, and if my experiment succeeded, then I may merge that change. So so there could be something like you need to create a branch irrespective of the others knowing about it. Okay, or you want to create a separate branch and work separately, and then you merge it with the main branch. So whatever the reason is, might be you'll have to take from the first commit or second commit. Let's say from the second commit. Okay, so from second commit you want to experiment. First commit was the basic one, second commit is something which you want to start experimenting. So what will you do? You create a branch from the second commit onwards, and you'll say, alright, so I have another commit C5 and another commit C6, another commit C6, like that. Okay, so this will be independent. So C4, C3 and C4 is independent. From C2 is the parent of C5, and we keep on committing like that. And this sequence of commits, okay, it's a separate timeline. So obviously that has to be also given a name. So we give a name, let's say my experimental branch. Experiment I'll do, then I'll discard. I may not put it in anything with the master. I will not merge it. This is my experiment. So whatever do I do, okay, so it just in an experiment. So anytime I commit, so the experiment now moves here. Now whenever I switch the branch from, I can switch from master to experiment. When I switch from master to experiment, the head always points to the last commit. So the head will be now pointing to experiment. Alright, so whatever you can so whenever you want to make experiments, obviously you'll have to switch back to experiment branch. So then you put your commits there. So if your experiments are done, you found it meaningful, might be you want to merge your all these commits you made. Okay, or you don't want to merge, it's up to you. If the experiment is succeeded, then you might be you want to talk with the team lead, and then might be these commits you can bring it back to the main branch. So there will be one commit, which merge commit you normally call it. This commit will be a summation of, okay, all these commits. So this will contain C5, C6, C7. Okay, with this is not the merge commit. So you'll merge this changes into a single commit in the master, and the master will go one step ahead now. Likewise, okay. So this is a normal flow, okay, but if you don't want, you can just keep it just, okay, you experimented on it, you keep it separate, you don't want others to know about this, you just fine. And so you understood how to solve the issue. So then might be you just switch again back to master. You don't want to merge this unnecessary comments C5, C6. You know what change you did, so you just make the corresponding change. You just make only one commit. So let's call it a C4. C4 1, okay, or C4 new, what is it, C8. So the C8 will not basically C8 will contain some changes which you did here, but you don't want others to know about your experiment. Okay, it is a private thing. Okay, so it gives you that all features, like you can encapsulate your changes from others. So by creating another branch, you work on the branch, you experiment on the branch. So when you want, if you want you want to merge, you can merge, but you need to take the permission. Otherwise you switch again back to the master branch. Okay, so make the changes you understood the changes you did in the experiment, you bring it back and then do a commit, and then you go with the master just like the same way it is. So so you want to experiment, you want to do some bug fixes and all that thing. So normally you have a master branch, and then you might be having another branch for development purposes or testing purposes, like that. Or special features, you may create a specific branch to add that features, and then later you merge it with the master. Excuse me. The master is always your main branch. Okay, so a branch is nothing but sequence of commits. Now to understand this, let's now also we want to see what is a merge conflict. So we are interested in merge conflict. Okay, so merge conflict happens, so we will show experiment merge conflict first. Yeah, initially we will create a branch. So branch, I think branch concept is clear. So let's create a file here. So I'll create a hello file. So this is your first commit, so C1, and after C1 or initial commit you call. Okay, I think C1 is used again here. So let's say this is your initial commit, and in initial commit we are having only one file, hello, and then we create another branch. You see that master is a branch and we have a feature branch. Both are emerging from the initial commit, so let's call it C0. From C0 you both emerge from C1, C2 emerge from C0 initial commit. So if two branches are working on the single file, okay, so then definitely they will be separate in two different branches. But when you do a merge, so which change will come, because these are two different files in two different branches. But now you say, okay, let's merge feature changes into master. Okay, or the vice versa, you'll say, okay, let's bring master changes to feature. So anyway you do, okay, normally you bring everything to master because master is your main branch, okay, or the production branch. So whenever you bring the other changes to master, so if two branches might be worked by two different people, so there would be a possibility of same lines getting updated. So if two lines, if you see this line is updated by this line, so there will be a conflict issue. Okay, if when a conflict happens, so let's see how we can resolve the conflict. So whether you want to keep the incoming change, okay, from the feature to master, or you want to keep your current change, or do you want to merge both? So these are the options available. We will see this. So first let's understand this by creating a repo. We'll quickly do this simple concept, okay, but important one. So let's create a repo. So make a directory repo, repo2, change the directory. Okay, okay, let's I think I'll make with okay, a folder here. Okay, sorry, this is going to be my repo2, and I will cd into repo2, and here I will clear everything. And what I will do here, okay, so I will git init excuse me guys. So so if you see, I have I need to create a file echo hello2 hello.txt. so this is the file which is created. You can see using cat command. And what else we'll do, yeah, so you can see this is a master, and I think this is what exactly in the diagram we have seen. So initial commit, I think we didn't commit it, so let's do a git add git commit. Let's call it as C0 or initial commit. So we have one commit, git log minus one line, all good. So we have one commit, so we are in the master branch. Now what I want is I want to create a new branch. So what will you do? Git. So we want to diverge a branch, because till here everything is fine. Now we want to diverge. We need to make one more branch. So the parent will be initial commit. So this is the time we need to create a branch. So I'll say git branch feature. So let's call git branch again and see there are two branches, feature and master, but highlighted is star is master, so this is still in master branch. You see that, still in master branch. So I'll switch to feature branch, because in feature branch, so you guys see that, so now it's feature. Now if I git log one line, so you would be able to see the head is now pointing to the feature. So you can always check in your repository folder, .git folder, so that changes really matter or not. So if every time we see the head was actually pointing to the master, so this time I think probably this is pointing to ref heads feature, so it points to the feature branch. And the features, if you go to ref heads, so you can see it points to that commit. So there are two things in your head, master and feature. Master feature points to where the commit which is there, so you can experiment on that, dd301, and master points to dd301. okay, so both are pointing to the same place now. Right now no issues. So I think master is not shown in this. So git log, you can say I think minus all, so you can see it shows me all the branches, feature, master, everything. Minus all, I think that's fine. So now let's do one more thing here. What if I want to do a new commit? Okay, so I'll make a change here. So hello feature, I'll append you'll use minus double arrows, so I'll append into the hello file. In feature branch, remember in feature branch, so git status, is the change reflected? We have no idea. Let's call cat and say cat, what is the file? So two lines added, hello, single line hello feature is added. Let's add it and do a commit. Commit minus m feature update in hello.txt. Done. So commit is done. So well, let's do a log with minus all, and minus I think there is a graph is there, so let's see the graph. In the graph you can see master was here, dd301, and feature is here. Did we diverge? Diversion, I think it's not done till now. So how do we see a diversion? So from this there is one commit happened. Okay, I think I'll have to switch back to master, and then we can see if something is diverging. So you see head is pointing to the feature, so I'll switch the head or switch to master again, and okay, sorry, git switch master. So we are switching back to the master branch, and so we have to do one more commit to do the diverge. Okay, we want to say diversion happening. So to do the diversion, so what exactly diversion means is, see, currently initial is done, now C2 has done, but C1, so this part is not done, master has to go one ahead. Okay, so so let's make a change in that. Hello master, append into double arrow. Let's do a cat on the file, see the change happen, hello master, and git add and git commit minus m and master feature, sorry, master update in hello.txt. so this is updated, and finally we will do a log with graph. Now when I do a log with graph, yeah, so this is what exactly we want. So we have a diversion, so you see that there is a diversion from the initial commit, one branch going in this direction, another branch going in this direction. So exactly there is a diversion happening. This diversion is what we need. From initial there is one branch going like this, another branch going there. So in fact my arrow is just the opposite. Okay, so this is the initial commit and this is one branch. both pointing to the 0 commit z0. So now what we need, since there are two commits additional, c1 and c2, now we want to merge the feature into master. So so I'm in master, so I'll say git merge feature branch. So when I do a git merge feature, you see that there is a conflict, and you see the status changes. So if you do a git status, there is something interesting happening. Merge git what if I do a short status? So u happening. So this u is what? U means you are in kind of merge conflict. Okay, so we are in a merge conflict, and since we are in merge conflict, we have to resolve the conflict. So I think I'll open the file in Visual Studio Code hello.txt. So code is a shorthand for opening Visual Studio Code. And you can see there is this file, and Visual Studio Code will take in some time. It will easily understand that there is an arrow here, there is a arrow down, in between there is a separator. The topmost part of the separator means this is coming from the parent. So this line was see, first line there is no change, second line there are two changes. So the second line change is from the master, third line change, okay, is coming from okay, so we could easily understand that. So this second line is having a problem. Conflict happens in the second line. So you see there is a separator, and the top of the separator will be in current branch, and this will be from the other branch. So you can do any of this. Accept current change, okay, fine. Control Z. Accept incoming change, okay, Control Z. Accept both the changes. So I accepted both the changes. You see Visual Studio Code is smart enough, it just sees this is modified, conflict happened, okay, and we need to resolve the conflict. Okay, and I think we have resolved the conflict. If you want to see the file, you can just see cat and see. Yeah, so this is the file, and we can just see the status again, and the status is still saying modified unmerged. So this is unmerged, so that's, I think that is why when you say git status minus shorthand, it says u, because it's unmerged. So this is not merged yet. So we are sure that we made the changes, so we can just add, and remember we just git log and check it again. So this is not merged, so now this is the time we want to merge it. See that we want to merge it, so we made the changes, but this is still modified. So I will simply say git add unmerged ready. So git add and git commit, and we can give it as like merge commit, okay, or conflict resolved, and this is basically a merge commit. So this is conflict resolve and merge commit. Now it's back to master, and so the tree is clean. You can do a git status. So I think the working tree is clean. So everything in your working tree went to that index, and from the index it is now in your repository. So everything is clean, all are in the same version. So we can also see the graph. If you see the graph, you can see that now head is in the master, because we are in the master branch, and we were in diverge, the branches diverge from the main commit, and then we merged it. So this is basically the concept of branches. We can merge branches, and conflict happened, so this is the way you have to do it. In case when you do collaboration, you should follow the same approach. So to collaborate, you should actually try this out, okay. So you can create a repository, and once the repository is created, you can go to the settings of the repository, okay, and I think you can go to manage access. Okay, some problem in my password. Okay, so I think they need security access. Okay, so you can invite people. So ask your team member, I want you to pair up with one person, so one person with another person, two people only currently work on one sample project. You search their ID. Okay, so I have another ID, but I'm just not using it as of now, so you can just add that, so the invitation will go into that. Once you add the person, so there will be an invitation pending, you can see that pending invite. So once they accept it, okay, so both can collaborate on it. Okay, once you collaborate, so how do you normally collaborate is you have to clone the repository, and after cloning the repository you make changes and you push the changes. Okay, another person will again pull the changes. So I would like you all to try out. Okay, so what I want you to do is you'll have to try with a team of 2 members. So create a normal website, you can just call it as a my sample website or something like that. So add an index page, add a contact page. Each page should have some image, career page, and about us page, and it will have some css. Okay, css, and some images folders. So divide this work between 2 people. Okay, and also you can add me. Okay, so I can actually see like how many of you committed. So keep a public repository only, that's fine. Excuse me. And you share with people, 2 of them work together, so you will have the same issues of merge conflict or anything happening if 2 people edit on the same file. So just do git push and pull. Okay, so just first person will create the repository, so another person can clone, and then he can do push and pull. For example, let's say so I'll show you one more thing. Okay, so you can try that git push and pull, okay, from other person. So so normally another big advantage of using version control systems is, suppose I'm having an open source micro app. So this is a micro app from one of our partner company, Cyberink. And this is, if you see this website, and so this is 10 days ago they have did a commit, and this is open source microservices app. This is built on Go programming language. Okay, and so suppose you are working on a team, and the whole source code may have many commits, like 378 commits. Comparatively this company is new, so they may have only last 2-3 years they are working on this project. So might be you want to learn. Okay, so how will I learn from a project? So first of all you will clone the project. Okay, so let me show you this. Okay, so you'll I hope the assignment is clear. You just have to create a website with between 2 people. Collaborator, you add it. Okay, so one person can make the index page and other things. Okay, and other person can work on clone that whole project, just like the way I'm doing. You can clone the project. So you'll clone, so you can do a git clone and clone the project of your collaborators project, just like the way I'm doing right now. Okay, micro app they don't allow me to push because I'm not the collaborator. So so once you are the collaborator, you can push the changes. So now this is a large code base. Okay, so this is so difficult to learn from a brand new project. So see, there is no master coming, so I'll cd into the micro app. So master branch is there. So if I do a git log minus minus one line, minus minus all, minus minus graph, okay, it could be a big thing. Okay, so you can see that this is going to be a big merging happening here. There are different branches, small branches are there, they are diverging and then they converge. You can see the graph, okay, how this is going. So they are initially linear path, and then they make another branch, and then they commit, and then each commit can also have a tag, you can see. So this is the version. commit merge, commit merge, commit merge. So large project, okay. So I'm just pressing the end button, function key and end. So in your case it might be different, so where is the end key, you can just see it. So I'm taking the version 0.0.1, okay, and if you want to quit out of this, press Q command to quit. So I quit it out, so I may take this version. So how do you take that? Git checkout version. So if it's a tag, you can easily use the tag name because it's very difficult to remember all the hash. So that is why you use tag in a commit. It's very important commit, then you can tag it. Now if you see, I'm opening that commit with VS Code. And if you see, this code base is completely fresh, so it's become very easy. You can see there are models, repositories, security layer, and the code base is very simple to understand. Okay, if you are learning Go, then you can start looking at it, and so you understand, okay, this guy, okay, who did this particular commit, and so you can understand the different layers. But if you see, the code is very less, so then you can start understanding, okay, so this is the way they started the project first, and they made the changes like this. This is the initial framework version 1. Okay, now check out the version gradually, so you can gradually learn. And this whole project is built on, let's say, 3-4 years. So obviously if you are going into a company, first day you cannot learn everything, okay, remember that. So gradually you will learn it, but if you have your same awareness and attitude correctly, so gradually you can understand, okay, each version, gradually you'll grab it up, okay. And so it's not 1 or 2 commits. You can see there are many commits which happen, like 300-400 commits nearly, and gradually you would be able to understand the whole stuff. Okay, so the version control system, no matter if you are using Git or anything, they definitely will have the same approach. Okay, so usually Git is used within your companies, but this is the approach you should follow. Check out the last initial tag, and then keep on going ahead and start learning the code, understand, experiment, okay, debug, and start learning. This is the way you can do it. Currently I'm not a collaborator, so I cannot make addition, and then I cannot push it. So your assignment is like, okay, try micro app, just see, you can experiment, see the different branches and other things, how they are merging it. So mostly you keep your branches linear, okay. The master as possible, but there are so many other branches. You see, this branches diverge, and then later on they converge. Experiment on these things, and also the assignment part. Okay, please complete the assignment. And yeah, so assignment is 2 people collaborating on a single website. Okay, so that's your work.